The bicycle tires crunched softly against the sun-baked gravel as Maya and Sophie pedaled deeper into the heart of Whispering Pine Valley. At 12 years old, the world felt vast and golden, especially here, where the mountains rose up like jagged emeralds against a cloudless sky. Maya led the way on her battered blue cruiser, her braids flapping against her back, while Sophie trailed just behind, feeling the cool spray of the creek that ran parallel to the trail. The air was thick with the scent of crushed pine needles and wild lavender, and for a moment, the only mission they had was to reach the old oak tree before the shadows grew too long. As they rounded a sharp bend where the wildflowers grew tallest, Maya's front tire kicked up something that wasn't a stone. She squeezed her handbrakes, skidding to a dusty halt. Lying in the dirt was a thick, leather-bound purse, its brass zipper partially burst open. Sophie leaned her bike against a fence and knelt beside her friend. When they peeked inside, their breath caught. Tucked into the side pockets were several crisp $100 bills, and nestled in the center was a delicate gold watch with a face made of shimmering pearl. It was more money than either girl had ever seen, enough to buy the high-end racing bikes they had spent all summer pinning to their bedroom walls. The silence of the valley suddenly felt heavy. Sophie looked at the money, then at Maya, her eyes bright with a mixture of fear and excitement. She whispered about how no one was around to see, and how the valley was so vast that finding the owner would be impossible. But as Maya looked at the elegant watch, she didn't see a prize. She saw the person who was likely at home right now, heart-stricken over a lost heirloom. The knot of guilt in Maya's stomach felt like a physical weight, turning the beautiful afternoon grey. She looked at her best friend and spoke softly but firmly, reminding her that while the money could buy them new bikes, it couldn't buy back the feeling of being able to look at themselves in the mirror without a secret hiding in their eyes. Sophie's excitement flickered and died, replaced by a quiet sense of relief as she realized Maya was right. They tucked the purse safely into Maya's front basket and turned their bikes around, pedaling with a new, frantic energy back toward the village general store. When they burst through the screen doors, they found the local baker, Mr. Henderson, frantically pacing the aisles with a face as pale as flour. When Maya placed the purse on the counter, the man nearly collapsed with gratitude, explaining that the watch was the last thing he had from his father, and the cash was the month's rent for his bakery. The girls walked back to their bikes, refusing the reward money he offered. As they rode back out into the valley to finish their journey, the sunset seemed to glow with a more brilliant intensity than before. Their old bikes creaked and rattled, and they were still the same two girls with empty pockets. But their hearts felt incredibly light. The wind in their faces felt cleaner, and the path ahead looked brighter, proving that the quiet satisfaction of doing the right thing was a much smoother ride than any luxury bike could ever provide. The bicycle tires